Hello friends, I'm Chris from Worthington Home. I'm on my way to meet my friend Margie and her friend Judy at Quality Consignments. Since it's getting close to the time when I'm going to have my booth space, it's just about a month away, we thought it would be fun to take a look together, brainstorm some ideas, and see some of the excellent things that they'll have for sale. So I hope you'll come along with us. Let's go. It's such a beautiful day for a drive. Okay, we're here and I'm looking through the windows and doors and I can already see some fabulous things for sale, like these amazing textiles. I am looking forward to getting in the store. Every time I come here, there's new cool stuff for sale. I'm checking out this basket. I really like it. It has a great shape. This is a laundry basket for $35. This is my friend Natalie's booth space. She always has great things, so it's very fun to poke around and see what she has available. She's got lots of interesting bits and pieces today. I like this sign. My friend Margie is picking up Natalie's placemat. This chicken is awesome, $22.50 for this. It has a great look. Vintage Metlock's chicken platter. I also really like this covered container, West End bean pot. The graphics on this are awesome. This is going to be my future booth space, so I want to give you a good look. It's not a huge space, but it's good enough for me, and it's definitely an awesome start for somebody who's never done it before. And as you can see, the current occupant has some really cool things for sale, including this chest for $99, which seems like a more than fair price. Yeah, there's a lot of good things in this booth space. I especially like this mirror, $19. If I had a place for it, that would come home with me. And now we're in a different booth and I'm checking out some of these dried and faux flowers. They have so much texture and color. They would look beautiful as part of somebody's home decor. I love the way this dealer has everything stacked up in these little cubbies. It's like your eye just keeps moving to different levels. So I'm studying this technique because, again, I have so much to learn, but I think this booth is definitely an example of what to do. Ooh, and some Haul mixing bowls. I love these, and I have them myself. These are $50 for the set. That's a set of 4. I'm checking out the jewelry. There's lots of pretty earrings here. These are adorable, only $12. Can't beat that. And I like these as well. They have nice shine, $10 for the pair. I like this framed cat. A Merry Halloween to all. This is really fun. And it is only $15. The prices here are so good. I really like this windmill picture. This is beautiful, $128 for this. It's titled and it's signed and it's absolutely stunning. I really like this turkey platter. It's lots of great colors. Just carefully moving everything from on top of it so I can flip this heavy platter over. I'll be very careful, of course. This is $38, made in Japan. It is really beautiful. I like that runner too. Here's another turkey platter. As you can see, it's pretty close to Thanksgiving at the time of this recording. This is an interesting tray. This has really interesting colors and patterns. I like that one as well. It looks like tulips on that back one. $18 for the tray in my hand. This is another beautiful piece of wall art. This is $30. It's a watercolor and it's signed. It is a beauty. This is a very pretty lamp. Only $35. I would take that home with me if I didn't know the cats would break it. And here's another beautiful picture. This is definitely the day of fabulous wall art. This is an old guy. I love the frame and the matting on this. This is an old house from Boston. Only $20. Nice deal. This koala figurine is so adorable. I'm really enjoying him. This big basket, which is actually a bassinet, I believe, with the big handles, is only $18. And I think this is going to come home with me. I'm looking for a really big basket actually for the bedroom. And I like this one as well, but I think the bassinet is the way to go. Yeah, that's a keeper. This mug is adorable with the dogs. Oh my goodness, it's like a little barber shop with dogs in it. $7.50. It was made in Germany. Great piece. I'm wishing I had bought this tin because it has a great look and it's only $10. It's so sweet. This is a fabulous shelf. I think this is oak. $135. That would be a fabulous statement in somebody's house. It's a nice big guy. And here are the gorgeous textiles I was looking at through the door when I was entering the store. These are beautiful. There's a nice assortment of wool sweaters here. They're beautifully made. So it's really fun to get a closer look. Look at the workmanship that went into this beautiful sweater. This one was made in Ireland. No surprise there. I actually tried it on and it didn't fit. Otherwise, I would have bought it. This turkey is awesome. $18.95. It has a great look. I love the pattern on the fabric. This booth is always beautiful. Every time I've been here, this booth has stopped me dead in my tracks, and today is no exception, including that wool blanket. Do you see it? This is an interesting piece as well. Let's see what the label says. Greenstown chocolate slag glass cactus biscuit jar. All right, we finished up at Quality Consignments and now we've moved on to a new place. We're at Nathan Liverant and Sons Antiques. Beautiful building. I like this cast iron dog. It almost looks real. And I'm going to head up the stairs and see what's inside. So this is Mr. Liverant. I'm in his beautiful...
My name is Arthur.
Arthur. I'm in his beautiful antique store, and I thought Arthur could maybe tell us just a little bit about it.
Okay, so this is our shop where we've been for 75 years.
Wow.
My grandfather and my father bought it in 1949.
Okay.
When the church business wasn't so good in town, and the Baptist church became available because the Baptists merged with the Congregationalists, leaving this church available.
Okay.
And so it's been our home since January of 49.
Wow.
Actually, March of 49. And so we have basically the building is original, untouched, just the way it was when it was built. And we sell antiques. We have sort of climbed the pyramid of quality, and we handle pretty good American antiques now. And we concentrate on New England pretty much, but we also handle antiques from the rest of the country. And so I have been doing this since 49. I was born in January of 49, and my father and grandfather bought the shop in March of 49.
Wow.
So I've been here all but 3 months.
So this is like the cradle of your life.
This is totally it. And the first thing I learned to do was to pack and fold blankets. And polish brass.
Okay.
And so I have climbed the ladder.
Well, I'm sure you did an excellent job and you deserved all of your promotions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet Arthur and learn more about this amazing store. And now I'm just going to take some time and kind of meander through it and take it all in. This isn't the kind of antique store you see every day, that's for sure. This place is so carefully curated. Arthur and his associate know the provenance of each and every piece in this building. They all come from New England. Everything is special, everything is unique, and it's a privilege just to be here. The best part of this place is, although it feels very museum-like because there's such high quality things here, Arthur is really encouraging us to touch and interact with every single thing. Nothing is too precious. He is very hospitable and encouraging us to try out everything. I'm completely in love with this hooked rug. Look at all of the detail and the beautiful animals and the colors. This is amazing. So it's a scatter rug and it's $1,200. It's from the 20th century. It is phenomenal. I want to give you a better look at this store so you can see all of the fabulous and very old furniture here. It is amazing. This is a fabulous Clipper ship painting. All of these have such a great look. The store is really large and it's beautifully arranged. I love this basket of stiff animals. Don't they have such adorable expressions? Got their original tags on. I have a few of these myself. I'm spending a lot of time looking at little wooden boxes because I'm definitely on the hunt for one for my bedroom. So I'm really checking them out carefully. Here's another fabulous one. I love this one, but I think I need something with a little bit less wood tone, something that's maybe painted or, I don't know, something that breaks up so much wood. This one is also not in my budget. Here's another great box. There are so many here. Whoever owned this last left their chocolates behind. I would never do that. Here's some great painted boxes. These are really beautiful. What a fabulous craft. And there's another one. There are so many here. I love it. And this one has an eagle on it, which is great. But again, I think too much wood tone on this. So now tell me what this is exactly.
This is a prayer book. It's called a Siddur, and it's a prayer book, Hebrew and in English. And I imagine it has an amazing history.
So actually, it's time that a book is, or any religious object, a tallis or anything,
Yes.
you're supposed to bury it.
Yes.
And when I looked, and we had this in the shop, and we have so much stuff here, and I was going through some stuff, and I came across it, and I thought, I got to give this to somebody, and I was going to maybe give it to our rabbi, but I would rather give it to
Well,
you.
you're giving it to my dear husband, Benny, and he'll use it.
This is the oldest chair in the place. This was made in the 1660s in New London. So I'm gonna sit in the oldest chair I've ever personally sat in before. So let's see how it feels. It feels pretty good. This chair is surprisingly comfortable and it is so beautiful.
Hi,
Hi.
my name's Kevin. I'm with Nathan Liverant and Son Antiques, and this little classical paint decorated box has a history of coming from the Hitchcock Museum in Connecticut, and that was the museum where Lambert Hitchcock had his chair factory. And this box shows a really interesting application of the stencil decorations you would find on Hitchcock chairs applied to this unusually shaped sarcophagus shaped box, and really nicely made. It was a little sewing box made about 1820 to 1840 and has the initials on the top that may or may not relate to Lambert Hitchcock. That was the story that we got when we purchased the box when they were closing the museum. So it has a really nice decoration here, a little basket of fruit and grapes and grape leaves here on the front. Very appropriate for that time period of 1820, 1840, and typical of what you would find on the Hitchcock chairs. Yep, that's the Hitchcock, and you won't be able to smell on the video, but when you see the box in person, it has a particular smell to it, almost like a cedar. And it's what it is actually is a wood called basswood, and that has the similar properties of cedar, that kind of being an insect repellent. So when you get to see this box in person, open up the lid and take a little whiff, and you'll have a great experience of early American decorative arts.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I had an amazing time, and I can't wait to show you what I bought. Well, I had such a fabulous thrifting day on Wednesday. I have to think about what day it was. It's so funny. It feels like it was yesterday, but it was now 2 days ago. So I went thrifting with my friend Margie and her friend Judy, who is lovely. And we went to Quality Consignments, where I'm going to have a booth very soon. And oh my gosh, was it helpful to me? Was it helpful to me to go there again shortly, about a month before my booth space gets started. It was really, really interesting to look at it through a different lens. I was forcing myself to not be a buyer, but to be a very soon-to-be seller in that space. And so I was really analyzing the way everybody had their booths set up, what kinds of things were selling, what kinds of things seemed to be moving, because I had just been there a few weeks before. And I'll tell you, the merchandise in that place moves. We were there on a Thursday, I think it was around 11 o'clock. There were plenty of people in the place. It does a nice business. And I really got some stronger ideas and a stronger sense of not only how I plan to lay out my space, but also what are some of the best items for that space? What are some good price points for those items? It was just a really good thinking and learning experience for me. And plus, it's always really fun there. Who am I kidding? So I just bought one thing, but I love it. So let me show you what I bought. As I already showed you from my thrifting footage, I decided to pick up this beautiful basket, which is really a bassinet, and not for kitty use, but as a storage solution for some of the pillows and things that we keep on the bed. At night, we like to, of course, take some of that extra pillow and bedding off the bed, and it's nice to have a place to store it so we're not just tossing it on the rug, where sometimes there's a little bit more dog and cat hair than there should be. So this will not only look beautiful in the bedroom, it will be very functional, and it will allow us to keep our pillows and throw blankets and other kinds of things nice and clean until we're ready to put them back on the bed in the morning. So I think this was a really good find, and I'm excited to start using it. I'm going to bring it upstairs right now, in fact. But of course, my best purchase of the day, of the week, of the month, of a long time was, you knew it was coming, this fabulous painted wooden box that belonged to Lambert and Eunice Hitchcock of the Hitchcock factory. And here is their initials right on top. This was made somewhere between 1810 and 1840, but probably closer to 1810. It was a sewing box. You've already seen this in the video footage. That was unnecessarily loud in the background. This box, oh my God, the smell. I wish you could smell the wood smell. It is so amazing. I love that old wood smell. But I am absolutely obsessed with this box. It is exactly the kind of box that I wanted for my table in the master bedroom, which I am renovating gradually, taking my time. And this is going to be perfect on my little Margolis table. I needed something that wasn't going to be easily broken. Now, of course, this could be broken. It definitely needs to be treated with some respect. But if I put this on the table, there's no real landing space for the cats on the table, and there's nothing compelling for the cats on the table. There's nothing on there that's going to draw their attention and make them likely to jump up and be curious about something. So I do believe this is going to be safe. And if for any reason they show a lot of interest in this, certainly I will move it. I'll put it on top of Eric's dresser. That is a totally safe place for it. So the way I justified why purchasing this, which was not planned, I mean, I was looking for a box like this. I wasn't gonna buy this particular one. We're not really calling this a purchase. We're calling it an investment in a little piece of Connecticut history. Doesn't that sound better? I think that sounds pretty good. I mean, if I can't justify my crazy spending, what can I do, really, if you think about it? So again, not a purchase, an investment. Now, what's very funny about this particular investment is that, when I heard the price, it was high. I was expecting it to be high. Everything in the store was a fortune because it was all incredibly special. It was all special, handmade, early Connecticut history, one-of-a-kind pieces with a known provenance. You're never going to find these things again, not ever, ever. So I knew it was going to be expensive. I was ready for it. But the price was investment-ish, but not impossible, if you see where I'm coming from. So he gave me the price. I negotiated. He countered. I countered. And we got to a point where we could both live with it. I think we were both very happy. I don't think he's as happy as me. Well, maybe he is. I'm extremely happy.
It occurs to me that we've been talking a lot about Lambert Hitchcock and the Hitchcock Museum, but some of you may not know the history. This seems like a good time to tell you a little bit more. Lambert Hitchcock was born in 1795 in Cheshire, Connecticut. In 1818, he opened a furniture factory in Riverton, Connecticut, which was known for a time as Hitchcockville. The factory utilized what was then a novel idea: mass production. As a result, Lambert was able to quickly and efficiently produce simple but beautiful chairs with stenciled backs, as well as other wooden furniture. This effectively built a new market for consumers who could only afford low-cost goods. The price of a Hitchcock chair ranged from only 45 cents to $1.75. By the late 1820s, the Hitchcock Chair Company was producing over 15,000 chairs a year. The Hitchcock Chair Company was considered to be highly innovative. It also employed over 100 workers for the assembly process, jobs like rough cutting wood, sawing, turning, and planing. Women worked as seat rushers and caners, and children often did the painting and striping. In my research, I read that the stenciled backs of Hitchcock chairs were inspired by theorem painting, stylized pictures of fruits and flowers made using stencils that were popular at the time. I also read that Lambert was an ambitious salesman, opening retail stores in Hitchcockville and Hartford, selling chairs to dealers and store owners, and utilizing Yankee peddlers to get his goods across the country. Despite the booming chair business, Lambert was not financially successful in the end. His factory was somewhat isolated and transportation was slow, so it took a long time to ship the chairs and collect payments. As a result, the company fell into debt and Lambert died in 1852 with little money to his name. In 1866, Hitchcockville changed its name to Riverton. However, Hitchcock chairs remained popular with the public and were widely copied by competitors. In 1946, John Kenny, a shoe salesman from West Hartford, came upon the old Hitchcock factory while on a fishing trip. He became determined to reopen the factory and resume production of Hitchcock chairs, which he did. The chairs Kenny produced resembled the original chairs with recreated stencils and some very old machinery. The business became a booming New England success story. It seemed everyone wanted a piece of Hitchcock furniture in their home. But by the late 1970s, cheap competition from overseas and rising fuel prices started to chip away at profits, and in 1990, the company's manufacturing assets were sold. In 1997, the Hitchcock Museum closed its doors, having previously showcased historic treasures from life in the 1800s. Many important pieces were donated to museums, and in 2003, the rest of the contents were auctioned. My little painted wooden chest was one of the pieces auctioned off. I feel very fortunate to have my own little piece of Connecticut history tied to the Hitchcock name. I plan to treasure it. We actually have a few pieces of Hitchcock furniture, nothing from the original factory, nothing from the Lambert Hitchcock days, but some of the newer pieces, like these kitchen chairs. You can see it's got the Hitchcock back stamp here. So there's a set of 4 kitchen chairs like these. They're ladder back chairs with rushed seats. We have only 3 out here on the table, but we own 4. And then also it comes with 2 armchairs for a total of a set of 6. And that comes in handy in case we pull out the table leaves, because this table can actually seat quite a few people when it's fully extended. We keep it tucked in like this because it's usually just Eric and I and sometimes Zach, so we really don't need that much seating. The table is not Hitchcock, that was custom made, that's Amish made, but the chairs I have had for years and years and years. I bought them at a consignment store. They are still fabulous, and I actually had the custom table made specifically to match my Hitchcock chairs. That's how much I love them. We also have this really awesome stenciled Hitchcock tilt top table. You can see it's got this eagle. It's coming up kind of blurry. Let me see if I can give you a better view. Oops, better view of this. Here we go. Now I think you can see this a little bit better. This used to be in the sunroom, but when we got the cats, we moved it up here because we were afraid they would scratch it into oblivion. And we really love this table, so it's much safer up here on the 3rd floor. And although we don't see it as much, we feel pretty hopeful that someday we'll be able to put it back in its pride of place. But for now, we're really glad that it can be safe and not scratched by naughty kitties. I think it's a really beautiful piece. Here's our last piece of Hitchcock furniture. It's this really pretty Demilune table. This used to be in the foyer of my last house, and it fit there absolutely perfectly. It's a little bit small in scale for our foyer now, and our foyer is still being renovated. So for right now, I have it up in the attic until we find the perfect spot for it. But this was another consignment store find, and you can see it's got the beautiful stenciled leaves. And this kind of table is such a great size. You can really pop it in a variety of places, and it looks really beautiful. I also really like the pencil legs on this piece. And I like the little details in the corners. And even right here, there's a lot of dust right now, excuse that, but the little flowers, just so many like little tiny things, details that make this a special piece. Very typical of Hitchcock furniture. And certainly having lived in Connecticut, I can tell you, we were surrounded by it. Everybody I knew, it seems, had several pieces of Hitchcock furniture. It's very much a New England thing, although I know you can find pieces all throughout the United States. But I have to thank all of the viewers who gave me excellent suggestions in the comments. I had asked for some suggestions about what to do with that little table in my master bedroom. I had so many fabulous suggestions. I wish I could take you all with me when I'm shopping because, oh my gosh, you're like little interior designers just hanging out in my computer. It's fabulous. So a lot of people had made suggestions of things like a painted wooden box. Some people just said a wooden box. I thought that might be just too much wood on wood. And some people gave me fabulous suggestions for other kinds of things that I would have taken if I didn't have such naughty kitties in my world. So I do want to thank you so much for all of your excellent suggestions. I loved reading them and they were so helpful to me. The other thing I want to say, and this is going to seem old now because of the way my videos go out, but a while back I had shown a piece that Eric had picked up that was originally from Woolworths. And I had asked people to share their memories of Woolworths with me. Well, I'm gonna have to tell you, those were my all-time favorite comments. I loved them. Eric loved them. We enjoyed reading them beyond. So thank you. It was so kind of you to share your memories with me like that. I just loved them. But what was interesting was when I was at this store, I asked the owner, because he was an older gentleman, and I thought, he's always lived in Connecticut, figured he might have some memories of Woolworths. So I said to him while we were there, and I can't remember, Margie had said something about the Woolworths piece that I had picked up and that she'd liked that video. So I said to Arthur, do you have any memories of Woolworths? And he said, oh, yes. I have lots of memories of the Woolworths. They used to go to Europe with my parents several times a year. They were very close friends. We called him Wooly. So that wasn't what I meant, but okay. I think Arthur and his parents and I, we travel in different circles, and that's okay. But it was so funny because I was thinking like maybe he had a grilled cheese at Woolworths, like that's what I was kind of fishing for, but no, his parents were friends with the Woolworths. He did tell me that Mr. Woolworth was one of the cheapest people they ever knew, and that he was sometimes embarrassing to travel with because he didn't like to spend money. Maybe that's why he had such an inexpensive store, because he didn't like to pay high prices for things. I don't know, but that was a story I didn't see coming. The other thing that was so funny was that when I got home, we had our weekly edition of Antiques in the Arts Weekly. It's like a newspaper. We get it every week. And let me show you the cover. Hang on one second. He was right here on the cover, which is so great. So he had won our Antiques Dealer of America Award of Merit. He was a winner of that prize or that recognition or whatever the heck that is. I don't know. I read the article. It was really nice. Oh my gosh. And this is Arthur. And I have to tell you, he could not have been nicer or friendlier or more welcoming, or his associate, who was also lovely. They made us so at home in their beautiful store. We had a phenomenal time. We could have stayed there all day. By the time we left, we felt like we were old friends. It's not everybody who's going to take that time with 3 people who just drop in on a whim. So it was awesome, and just a really fun coincidence that I happened to have just met him and just purchased something from his store, which, like I said, is far more like a fabulous interactive museum than a store. And then there he was on my newspaper when I got home. So funny. And yeah, I feel really fortunate to have met him. He does some talks from time to time on different topics. So he's got one coming up on how to determine the age of a chair or what a chair is by just looking at the back of it, which sounds fabulous. So I might go to that talk or a future talk of his. I'm definitely gonna follow him. I also heard that he has a YouTube channel, which I thought was fabulous. So I'm gonna look for that as well, because I think that Arthur has an awful lot to teach us all about the world of antiques, and I am always interested in learning more. I'm excited to show you some of the really fun things my friend Margie gave me, including this teapot that is so interesting. Look at all of the knights and figures depicted along the side. And I love this. It looks like a banner or an old tent. It's got a battle scene on the lid. And this is depicting the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. I thought that was such a unique teapot. And this is a little Sadler teapot made in England. So I thought that was absolutely adorable. She also brought me this really cute chicken. Oh my goodness, this guy is so cute. And I really wish I could put this on a windowsill somewhere because it would look so cute there, but I know the cats will smack it down no matter what windowsill I choose. So I'm gonna find a safer place for this. I think it has a great look. She also gave me this very sweet holiday bell. I think it's lovely. There's the little ringer. And this was made, oops, this is Coalport, made in England. I love Coalport. And I think my favorite thing she brought me was this beautiful vase. This is so stunning. It's hand painted. This was made in Israel. She just got back from Israel. And this is really gorgeous. I love the colors on this especially. So again, some beautiful things that need to find nice, safe spots in my house. Thank goodness for cabinets with glass doors, right? Well, I'm in my bedroom right now, so I can show you a few things, including these little cutie pies. Hello, good girl. Got a little bit of licorice action here, a little bit of indie in the background. And I thought I would show you what we're using this basket for. I am gonna change the fabric on these big shams eventually, but I like to keep them even though they don't really match the direction I'm going in because it's so comfortable to lean up against them in bed when we're watching TV. So I keep them here for now, and you can see that the basket keeps them off the floor. We put our throw blanket and our decorative pillows in here as well. So this has been a nice little functional piece. Over here is the new Hitchcock box. I continue to be completely enamored of this little piece, and I've added a volume of Moby Dick, and the lamp next to it was my mother's, and the picture over it was my mother's. I think the black and gold tones look really, really nice together. I love that this box is painted and stenciled. I think if it was wood, it would just be too much wood. And all of this is on our little Margies table. And of course, as I've said many times, this whole bedroom needs a lot of attention and renovation, but I'm just trying to make things a little bit better for now. And I'm really happy with this. But I thought it might be interesting for me to show you what I mean when I say that a plain wooden box I think would have been too much wood, because I have one. So let me show you. This is a very pretty decorative box that I recently thrifted. You'll see it in a future video. I like this box a lot. I think it's a nice shape and I think it's a nice size. It's got really pretty details around the handle. But you can see it's entirely wood toned. And if I were to put the wood tone box on the wood tone table, you can see how it gets entirely lost. It's a beautiful box. It's a beautiful table together. It just doesn't meld in the ways that I'd like it to. And that's why I ended up going with a painted box instead. And I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I think it's really gorgeous. And I can't wait to get this bedroom further along. I just need a little bit of spare time to present itself in my life. I'll get there. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this rather meandering video. We did a lot of different kinds of thrifting. Quality Consignments in Colchester, which is a fave, and then a completely different kind of store at Liverant & Sons with more high-end and unique antiques. My excellent find that I continue to be so excited about, my Lambert and Eunice Hitchcock sewing box, and a nice addition to my home decor and my collections. A wayward kitty, hello little kitty, and lots of things in between, including quite a bit of history. Hope it wasn't too much, trying to give you just a little, not too much. Don't want to get lectury. Let me know if I overdo it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd also love to ask you a huge favor. I am almost at the 1-year anniversary from putting out my first ever YouTube video. And I think back on that very sad attempt at a YouTube video and I cringe a little. I had a lot to learn. I still have a lot to learn, but I would love to hit 4,000 subscribers by my 1-year anniversary. I'm pretty close. I'm about 200 away. So maybe not the most realistic goal, but when I look at my dashboard, I see that most viewers don't subscribe. So if you're one of those viewers and you don't mind subscribing, it would mean the world to me if you would. I would love to meet this goal. It's close enough to be just within reach, but far enough to still feel a little bit ambitious. You could make the difference. So if you would, please do. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Indy and I hope you're having a great day, and we hope to see you next time. Bye for now.